tells you where we're at.
We already have 2 viewers say hi.
Huh?
We have 2 viewers say hi.
Welcome to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. I'm Keith Moehle, and we are glad to be with you today. And Morgan is in the studio.
Hello, everybody.
And we have a special guest, Scott Frazier with KM Builders. He is our hardy plank siding and window specialist, and we wanted to bring him in here to talk to you about exactly that subject. So welcome to the show, Scott. It's your first time here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
And so we want to make sure that you get a chance to talk to the expert on it. We've been doing hardy plank and other types of siding for quite a long time, and now we have a show dedicated toward that, and of course the vlog and the video, and you can tell you how to get on if you want to see Scott live.
So right now we're live on Facebook at KM Builders 1 and Instagram just at KM Builders, and also on YouTube. It's just search KM Builders, and we're taking your questions live right now.
And you can see Morgan, Scott, and me live on the show, and we're excited to talk to you about this subject. And you can call us at 737-1200 right now if you'd like to ask a question about siding, windows, hardy plank, what is fiber cement versus hardy plank, anything like that. If you've got questions, we'll go over old siding, we'll talk about some of those things, but don't be afraid to give us a call at 737-1200 or 1-800-383-WOAI. Again, that local number is 737-1200. And we're going to go ahead and get started on our subject, but our first segment is always
the lame contractor of the week.
Yeah, lame contractor segment. And we do this because we just have gotten so much feedback from people who call us out to look at their project, and then we have to hear them, we have to see them suffer. They're still suffering from a bad experience. So we try to tell you about these experiences so that you can be more aware. It is disappointing, and one of the reasons we're on this show from the very beginning was to give out good information to help people from making a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some similarities with a lot of these stories, and this one is here in San Antonio. A person gave a contractor $14,000 to build a sunroom for her disabled son, and a year later all she had left to show for her money was a slab of concrete. No electricity, and part of her home also was taken out. So the news is looking into it. It's just a really, really sad thing, and it's just recommended that we don't give people large amounts of money. I'm sure that $14,000 was probably half of what he told them it was going to cost.
Yep.
So the two things that we'll see in a case like this is that the price is too low,
and that asking for a lot up front.
That's exactly right, isn't it? They're always asking for a lot of money up front, and you think because it's about half of what somebody else was charging,
that you're going to get a great deal.
Yeah, and why not give them half of their money up front if they're going to give you such a good deal? But the truth is, as we all know, you do not get a good deal. You end up paying people money and there was nothing left. And who knows if even the concrete work was done right. If somebody's going to plan on taking your money, are they really going to do a good job on anything?
They're probably not going to do hardly any work,
yeah,
let alone a good job.
So my thinking is if they poured a foundation, it's probably not built right.
Yeah,
and so you didn't even get that out of it. So be careful. There's plenty of people who will take your money and tell you what you want to hear, but you've got to be really, really careful. So let's go ahead and get into our subject. Again, 737-1200 is the
number to call.
The number to call. So we'll start off with some questions that you might ask, and I'm going to get Scott to comment on them. So first of all, if you think of something that everybody wants to know, Scott, go ahead and tell us, but why fiber cement siding? What is the difference between fiber cement and hardy plank?
Well, hardy plank is a brand name. They're pretty close. I mean, fiber cement just describes the fact that you have a concrete product that is maintenance free. What I always liked when years ago when hardy plank first came out, they had a test product that they actually had in a box that was a clear box filled with water, and they had a piece of the fiber cement in there. And of course the brand name was hardy plank, but they had a born-on date, and that born-on date was usually 6 or 7 years old. And what always amazed me is the water was perfectly clear. like could not tell that it had deteriorated, and it was actually encased in water the entire time.
And the water stayed clear, which meant nothing was transported from the material.
That is correct, and you could shake that box, and that's what we used to do for homeowners. We would shake it, and you could hear that it was still very, very solid. It wouldn't chip, it wouldn't crack, it wouldn't break. It was just an amazing product.
Yeah, so that's it. Hardy Plank is a brand name. Fiber Cement is the generic name of the trade name for it, because there are other brands, and Hardy Plank has a really good reputation in this industry. There are others that have gone out of business that tried to make it, and you don't want to get with some sub company that's trying to make fiber cement siding that's not worth anything, because that could literally fall apart. Have you seen others that didn't hold up in water like that?
I did. Years ago, I worked for a company that first introduced it to San Antonio, and we toyed around with the idea of what we would call a drop product. It was a product that was just a little bit lesser expensive than Hardy Plank, and we did it on a few jobs. The installers would give us feedback, and some of the feedback we got was, man, this stuff is, you can just tell it's flimsy when you pick it up. It's just cheap, and when you looked at the cheapness of it and what it looked like on a finished house, the little bit of dollars and cents that we saved on the material, it was not worth it at all.
Yeah, way too
So
many hassles.
we ended that program pretty quick. As soon as that program got started, after a few jobs were sold and we saw what it looked like, we canceled that drop product and only stuck with Hardy Plank.
That's exactly right. And you and I have been in the construction industry for decades. So when a new product comes out, we don't even know always what's the difference between this manufacturer and this manufacturer. But one of the reasons we do the show is so we can give that good advice to homeowners, so that they won't have to experiment like we had to learn sometimes the hard way. And also, I'll say I've had to warranty things that we thought was going to be a great product, and we had a long warranty, so that we had to stick behind it, and it cost us a lot of money too. So I've also seen, when some of these other products get wet, sometimes they get rained on before you install them, and they actually delaminate. The layers in it start separating.
That's right.
Yeah, and so that's another one is that they split, they splinter off, or they chip and break real easy. They don't take nails very well, and you've got to put nails in these things.
Yeah. No,
So
that's right.
So it's a combination, but Hardy Plank has a great warranty, and it is. Let's talk about a few of the benefits of Hardy Plank. I mean, of fiber cement in general, and then of course it applies to Hardy Plank. What do you think the number one reason to use this product on your home?
Just longevity, and it looks like real wood. When it's installed properly, and you've got a good quality crew out there that really knows what they're doing, and they're following all the specifications and guidelines, it's an absolutely gorgeous product. It puts anything and everything out there I've ever seen to shame.
It really does. If you haven't seen it, you'd want to see it. You want to call Scott and call us over at our office at 680-5626. You want to call KM Builders or log on to kmbuilders.com to set up an appointment, and Scott will come out and show you the product. He will show you photos of many products and jobs we've done over the years, and they just are day and night transformations. But I like what you said. It looks like real wood, and you can get up close to it, touch it, feel it, and you're not going to know the difference.
It's as solid as can be. You could look at a house, like years ago, vinyl siding was really popular. Then we kind of saw that kind of phase out, like some products do in the home improvement industry. Other products come up and they evolve, and they're just a thing of the past.
How much better is Hardy Plank than vinyl?
Oh my goodness. Take a look at the hail that we had back in 2016. And I can't tell you how many houses that I saw that just the vinyl was just all busted up. And what happened in a lot of cases is the insurance companies, they only wanted to cover the wall that got damaged.
That's right.
And of course, the color wasn't going to match the other walls. The style is in a lot of cases, it wasn't around anymore. It's discontinued. There were just a lot of drawbacks, and vinyl, it does have a little bit of a cheaper look to it.
It does.
And anytime you do you want to put something on a house and you want to give it a facelift,
Looks is important.
Goodness gracious, you put it on the market, the real estate wants to sell it. I mean, that's the first thing people see. Everyone wants to go to the internet now when they buy homes. And the first thing they're gonna see is they're gonna see what your house looks like.
That's right, that's right. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break right now, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about some of that resale value and some of the other things besides beauty and strength that you need to know about this when you get ready to do your project. We want to give you some good information. We'll talk about it when we come back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show.
Attention San Antonio, the
So we're going to talk about, let's go right into we've got a client testimonial, and you're going to read it, Morgan?
Mm-hmm.
Client testimonial, and then we will do the resale. We'll talk about the impact on resale, and then we're going to go into some other strengths of it, such as no rotting, like you said, completely insect resistant, fire resistant. Let's talk about those things too. Long-term durability. Anything else you can think of?
No, not off the top of my head. What I will do though, so I have me some points here fresh. in
Can I
front of
have
me.
the client testimonial?
Sure.
That one for me, so.
I don't need it.
Throw a fry at you.
I'm sorry?
I'm afraid to fall asleep.
You're gonna fall asleep, honey?
We're gonna have to liven this show up a little bit.
Make it more exciting.
Hey, she'd be a great gauge. If she starts looking tired, then we need to vamp it up a little bit.
Mhm. She's our audience, our visual audience. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
And I would set that up. Would you like for me to set that up for you when you get ready to talk about the investment return?
Mhm.
We talk a little bit about Kelly's Blue Book and set up Remodelers Magazine, and then I'll say Keith has a report in front of him right now that can tell you exactly what the investment return is on her thinking, and let you talk.
Sure.
Okay, because I've got a good introduction selling point
You bet.
on Remodelers Magazine to set that up and give that credibility.
You bet.
Okay. By the way, Mark Bumble show this morning was born this time.
You are being
Born to
recorded
show.
live. You are
Right
being
now.
recorded.
People hear me?
live.
Get the hell out of here. No.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not just say that.
It's all right.
Don't.
What
can
was
we
the show
edit
about?
that? Can we edit that?
No, it's live. It's okay. We're honest here. What was the show about?
It was so boring after 5 minutes, I turned it off.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that the other shows that are out there are going to be about.
Oh,
They don't do everything. So
Well, he's got some great shows, don't get me wrong. It was just flat this morning.
welcome to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. We are live on WAI, and of course we are live on Facebook and Instagram
and YouTube.
and YouTube.
Right now we've got 4 people watching us live on Facebook.
They're probably chuckling right now.
Oh yeah, because if you were watching us during the commercial break, you missed something funny.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, boy.
And we love it. We love it. We're real, aren't we?
Yeah.
So it says slow internet on my iPad. Stop and restart the stream at 480 or 360
That's okay, just
quality.
keep it going.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
it
can
might
see.
change, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so we were talking about hardy plank, but before we do, we always have a little sweet segment that we want to get off of our chest of something that has happened during the week, because we get so many like this. Go ahead and tell us what we do in this segment every.
So this is our
Sure.
client testimonial segment. So a lot of times we get text messages or voicemails from clients. And this week, we got that we had just finished this client's bathroom. And so she sent 4 people the text. So like the project manager, you, the project coordinator.
And Chad, the
Somebody
supervisor.
else.
right?
Yeah.
And go ahead and mention the project manager, David Martinez.
Oh, it was David Martinez was
Yeah,
the
it was.
project manager, and then Chad was on there too. So she says, I'm very pleased with my new bathroom. Everyone was great and I enjoyed working with you. Wish I could have gotten a goodbye kiss though. Thanks again for everything.
Sure, she's awesome. Yep, it was the day after we finished. And it's like, nobody's texting me in the morning anymore.
She's lonely.
Yeah, so we do have that effect on people. And thanks for sharing that, Morgan. So we were talking about hardy plank and fiber cement siding in general.
Yes.
And we've got Scott Frazier in with us, an enthusiastic advocate of hardy plank siding, because that's what he has done so much of and improved San Antonio with that great product. We were going to tell you can call us live at 737-1200 if you want to ask Scott or me or Morgan anything about remodeling, and especially about this subject right now. But before we left this for the break, we were talking about the beauty of it, and so that leads into resale and how much value it has, right, Scott?
That's right. And what's really unique about when you try to look up a value of a remodeling project, whether it's be a bathroom remodeling, kitchen remodeling, or a particular product on your home, there's actually resources out there. One that kind of comes to mind, I think of, it's almost like a Kelley Blue Book. When we want to trade in a vehicle or we want to sell a car, we'll go to Kelley Blue Book and we'll look up what the value of that vehicle is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's actually a magazine that's been out there for over 50 years called Remodelers Magazine, and every year they do almost like a Kelley Blue Book. They do a cost versus value that can allow homeowners to see what kind of value am I really going to increase my home by doing a bathroom remodeling or kitchen remodeling. And they have on there one of the products. They name the brand, which is hardy plank, fiber cement, and they give us a value of how much it increases the value of your home. And I think, Keith, do you have that?
Yeah, I do. I have the 2018, and then I have some others. But one thing that's interesting about it, it's not done by the magazine. It's done by Harvard University. It's an independent study, and then Remodeling Magazine, Hanley Wood, actually just publishes that. They have nothing to do with the results of it, and it is an independent study with remodeling costs and resale values based on real estate, and then of course surveys. And it's interesting that all of these are about what would you gain back if you turned around and sold it right away after you did it. What these numbers are based on, so I want to keep that in mind. Now, I can go back to the latest one I have on fiber cement, where they gave the actual numbers for just fiber cement instead of siding itself, was 112% cost recouped.
That's amazing.
But when you look at the others now, since they didn't offer just that, they just have siding replacement. When you look at comparisons, I'm going to give you a comparison. Back when this one was produced, it said 112%, and when they did have fiber cement siding listed separately. Bathrooms in San Antonio, now by the way, that's in San Antonio, not somewhere else in the nation, 112% recouped. The bathroom remodels were 103.5%. And right now, and that was right before the recession, but right now, bathroom remodels in San Antonio are 96, so it's only off by 7%. If you were to take this number, since we don't have the exact one on fiber cement, subtract 7% from 112, that would put you, you know, at a 105. That would be a really good recouped value. Now, most people, I'm sure, you know, in your business, they're not, in your experience, they're not trying to recoup the money tomorrow when they do this. They want to enjoy it for a while.
That's, yeah, yes, that's correct.
So, you know, but it is nice to know that you're not wasting your money if you're doing it the right thing. As a comparison, though, I'm gonna use vinyl siding as an example. It was 20 points lower on percentage-wise. Vinyl was 20 points lower. Foam back vinyl was 22% lower. And so that tells you the little bit of difference there, quite a bit of difference there, 20-something% difference, and that was in a good economy, which we're back in now. But still, do you want to change it? And Scott, what's the difference in the cost? Is it 20% difference in cost?
It depends. If you are looking to do business with a chuck and a truck, someone who you may be rolling the dice with for a big gamble to try to get that beautiful low price, it could only be 20% less. You know how contracting is. I mean, prices can be all over the place. But I believe that because of consumer awareness and the education level, there's many people now that when they get with their real estate agent and they say, hey, I'm looking for a house, I want to buy a house in San Antonio. Sometimes that real estate agent may take them to a home that has vinyl on it. And as soon as that homeowner sees it, they immediately inform the real estate agent, hey, you don't need to take me to any more homes that have vinyl on them. If they have vinyl on them, I don't want anything to do with them because I just think it cheapens the look of the house. And I believe that's why those numbers on your return investing in the vinyl siding has went down over the years. It used to be a lot higher years ago.
You know what I figured out too, and just incidental surveys with people, is they'll like the look of a vinyl siding home from a distance.
That's right.
And sometimes they're interested in it because they've only seen it from a distance.
That's right.
But if you take someone up to a home with vinyl siding up, they don't like it near as much. If they like it at all, they don't like it near as much. And this is not true of the product that we're talking about. Fiber cement, particularly hardy plank, is really a fine looking product. The closer you get, the better it looks.
That's right, exactly.
And so, I mean, you think about a good vinyl siding, which is, there is quality vinyl siding, it's still not gonna give you the results and some of the beautiful qualities and long lasting and fire resistance and so forth that fiber cement and hardy plank will do. But there is such a thing as quality vinyl siding, but it is not inexpensive.
That is correct.
It is costly, and in many cases exceeds the cost of doing fiber cement to get the really good product. So you don't want to compare apples to, you know, prunes. You know, this is not a comparison. If you go with cheap vinyl siding and you look at that price versus a good fiber cement like hardy plank, yeah, there's going to be a difference, but that's not the same. We're not talking quality for quality. And if you go quality for quality, you're going to see an advantage in the price on fiber cement like hardy over vinyl siding and other products that are similar, or they're trying to compete with it, I should say. They're really not similar.
That's correct.
They don't have a lot of the attributes. They cannot get it. And one of those would be fire resistance.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly correct.
Vinyl will burn.
And I've even seen it to where it's warped and it's a little melted because of the heat that we have here. Mm-hmm. And over a period of years, you can really see what our weather does to vinyl siding.
Yes. So there's the thing called tin canning or oil canning that happens with vinyl siding. So it looks like, just think about what you do with a soda can. If you squeeze it on one side and you try to get it back, it goes somewhere else. The wrinkle goes somewhere else. You can't squeeze it back out. And that's what happens. That's one of the looks that you get with vinyl siding. And so there are some natural things that you can't avoid. One of those is fire. One of those is warping. You cannot, in the heat, it's expanding and contracting. And then another thing that you can't get away with is resistance. Other products for insect resistance. Now, I don't think any insect eats vinyl, but they do not eat fiber cement, so they're equal on that at least, if not better.
That is correct. And you know, back to the fire resistant, Hardy Plank had a video out a few years ago of a really bad fire in California where the fire had creeped up on some homes and burned them down, and the homes that they creeped up on that had Hardy Plank on it never caught fire.
Isn't that something?
Now, it's not fireproof, I wanna make that real clear, but it is fire resistant, and there were some homes saved in a horrible forest fire in California. That video's out there floating around somewhere.
Yeah, so lots of good reasons to consider doing this. If you need to do siding on your home, give us a call at 680-5626 or look us up at kmbuilders.com and you can set up an appointment to learn a little more about it, a lot more about it, in fact.
Billy's.
We're gonna go to a news break, but we're gonna mention our favorite sponsor right now, Billy's Western Wear. Been our sponsor for a very long time. They are where we buy Western Wear in San Antonio, right there in Bernie, at billyswesternwear.com or 1-855-68-BILLY. We'll be right back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. Half done.
Anything you want me to change?
Deb, do we know? Yeah, I looked it up on Builder's and can't find the name. I said we are so sorry about this. We will contacting you on Monday to discuss. And I can't delete it. I delete it.
You can put on there quality. Quality doesn't.
I'll make sure. I had to respond.
Yeah, quality takes time. But it's worth it.
It's okay. They know we're on a break.
So, but
Do we wanna have any discussion on installation processes and how it affects the long-term performance of not just
Absolutely.
but any product? for
yeah,
that matter?
particularly that.
And
Absolutely.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult it is too, it's not an easy task, so, you know, there's a lot of things we can chat about there.
Yeah, that'll
If
help
you
with
need or
that.
want, whenever you're ready to go down that road.
Mhm. Did you get that one I sent you about the little wine fridges, those mini wine
Mhm.
fridges? One of them was about that wide, right? One bottle what? One bottle
Yeah,
wide?
that was really cool.
Mm-hmm. You put that in one of our future shows?
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
No, I was thinking for the newsletter too.
Oh, okay.
But it'd be good for here too, right?
Okay.
And also an 1.5-inch ladder that you can pull out of your cabinets. We can install in your cabinets. It's 1.5 inches wide. You pull it out and it goes boom. It creates 2 steps to get up to your upper cabinets. I don't remember that guy. And then, you putting that in, what I said?
Figure out how to do it before I could even do it.
Hmm.
Didn't hear that?
James Hardy.
Let's talk about Color Plus.
Amazing.
Do you wanna call it? Do you wanna deal with the Color Plus? Do you wanna
Sir?
talk about Color Plus then, while we don't do it?
If you want to, it's bold, but we can do it. Why not? I have a whole bunch of bad comments on a third-party site that I have pictures of. So so that I could refer to that if you wanted to go down that road, we sure can. Starts right here. Customeraffairs.com.
We were gonna talk about what first then? I forgot.
Installation and the importance of the installation, and I can also touch on the guarantees and warranties and how that affects the.
Yeah, I want to talk about
warranty.
guarantees and warranties.
Yep.
Okay, so installation and the warranties first.
So that was, you know, that was really just,
Yeah, amazing.
That was Gary Warren.
that was Gary that was talking. That
Sure
really
was.
started doing his own commercials.
Has been for a long time.
Has he really? I like Gary.
Brian
Chad.
Smith says, don't use Color Plus, it sucks.
Well, you know, when you look at customeraffairs.com and you read the reviews, there's not
We
one good
agree,
review
Brian.
on there about the color class. Not one good
Yeah,
review.
but we agree and stay tuned.
Yeah, well, he's watching you right now,
Oh,
so you
yeah,
can tell
that's
him.
right.
Oh.
Stay tuned, that's exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah. He can hear y'all. The mic's right there.
That's right. I thought he had typed in a comment.
Well, he did,
Okay,
but
but that doesn't mean he's not listening right now.
yeah, that's how he responds to us, but we respond to him through the video. And it's all gone.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
You need to know that technique.
I had to make my screen bigger. It wasn't giving me the option. Great show, boss, John Rager says.
Welcome back to the KM Builders Remodeling Design Show, and we are in our second half, and you can join us at 737-1200. If you want to give us a call, we'd love to talk to you about anything remodeling. And just want to say that we are glad to be doing this product and be serving San Antonio for 3 decades. Is that 3? Wait a minute. Yeah, 34 years since 1984. 34 years, 3.5 decades nearly. Next year will be 35 years. And if you want to know anything about that product, give us a look at kmbuilders.com and set up for a free consultation. And Scott will deal with you on siding and windows and those types of products. And a lot of times him and I will go together on those. And then of course anything else, I'm going to be there. Design, build, remodeling. If you want a question about, talk about any type of project. We have done just about every kind of project you can imagine. But it'll still be a lot of fun doing it for you because it'll be the first time we do it for you. And we will be very excited to do it. And it's always different. There are no 2 remodeling projects exactly the same. And I promise you, you will see our enthusiasm for doing a project for you. Even if it's something very simple, we'll be glad to talk to you about it. Before we left, we were talking about installation and warranty. Morgan, we had a little segment you were going to chime in on.
Yep, but
What's
first,
trending.
Yep, but first I want to mention that we are streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for KM Builders and you'll find us there. We have a couple of people watching on Facebook that I wanted to say hi to. John Rager commented, "Great show, boss," and
Hey, John.
And Brian Smith says, "You always do a great show, guys." So thanks everybody for watching us live and laughing with us.
Yeah, thanks for those live ones who catch us in between.
Yeah. But I have a cool what's trending. Doors have become a statement piece in your home. They can have very interesting cutouts in them. So some have little circle cutouts that kind of look mid-century modern. Some have, we've seen the slats, but even just a plain white door, but with the interesting trim really makes it a statement piece in your home. So I've been seeing those trending on Instagram lately, so I just thought I would comment about those. Something simple.
You're right, and that is a great resale item also. An entrance to a home can make a real style statement.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that are transitional. They'll go with this style or with that style. So you need something to define which style do you want it to be. And sometimes just that front door, that circle window or the arches in it or the straight clean lines or the color. all of the above can really contribute to telling your viewer, the one who's watching, looking at your home, walking up to it, whether that be a guest or the next potential buyer of that home, it tells you what style your home now is. That door is such a defining thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I forget to talk about that a lot. But by the way, front entrances have a great resale return on investment according to the cost versus value report that we talked about earlier for fiber cement siding from the Harvard study. That's a really good one to get a lot, if not all of your money back on a front door replacement, and KM Builders does it.
Yes.
And we do a lot of that with that fiber cement siding that we've been talking about. Let's talk a little bit more about hardy plank and fiber cement siding in general. Of course, we use hardy plank more than anything else when we do this product because it serves the needs and the cost value for our clients. So let's talk a little more about it with Scott. Scott Frazier is in with our company. He is a specialist in this, has been doing it for how long you've been selling and giving people a great product like this?
13 years.
13 years of specialization in that. And so we do have in KM Builders a lot of people specializing. I know we wanted to talk a little bit about installation crews that do, almost nothing but that.
Yeah, and that's one of the most important parts of the project, and you hear this a lot in the home improvement industry, that you can have a great product, and if it's not installed properly, it's gonna affect the long-term performance of the product. And hardy plank on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say is probably a 10 in terms of difficulty level to install it.
I agree.
And install it right.
I remember when it came out, we hated installing it. It was like, I hope this does not last. Because we had to change our fasteners, we had to change the tools that we used to do it with, and it was the saw blades were different, and the dust was different. Everything was different, and I mean, I was literally installing it when it came out. I was installing it as a carpenter in those days.
And there's a lot of shortcuts when installing hardy plank, and you know how it is. I mean, when you're getting paid by the square as a subcontractor or as an employee, if you can find shortcuts, you can install it faster, you can make more money.
Mm-hmm. And there's also things that people do to save time and make it easier for them, which are really bad.
That's right. and you know what's sad for the homeowner is we all have a greed factor. So when we're getting prices from different people that are coming out to our home, the greed factor is, as a homeowner, we're always wanting to try to save money. So it's so easy sometimes to look at that too good to be true price and just go with it. But if it's too good to be true, or if it's a whole lot lower than where everyone else is falling at, they're taking shortcuts.
Well, it's just like roofing, isn't it?
That's exactly
You're not gonna
right.
know. You're not gonna know till later where they took their shortcuts.
That is correct. You can see a hardy plank job sometimes when it's done. Looks fantastic. Go back to it 2, 3, 4 years later.
It doesn't look fantastic.
Oh my goodness. And hardy plank is a product, in some cases, it's almost gotten a bad reputation because people have seen it installed and they've just seen some bad installs done by bad contractors.
And on the other hand, it should last a lifetime.
That is correct, no, without a doubt.
When it's done correctly, it will last indefinitely.
That's right.
And I made some of those mistakes when we first learned it. They would bring it out to projects when I was a carpenter, and we didn't know some of the nuances of it. And of course, the industry was getting acquainted with it. But you know what's sad, Scott, is I still see people making those same mistakes.
That's right.
And they can't say it's because it's new in the industry.
That's right.
At least we had that to fall. But we learned from it.
Yeah.
And we improved. And now, honestly, and I know you told me the same thing the other day, that you have never seen certain crew, any crew, do some of the things we do.
That is correct, yes. I was impressed. That job where I saw the video and the close-ups of it and the way you were explaining and everything, there was some particular things that you are doing that I've never even seen done.
So if you'd like to see that video, it goes into detail about some of the things we do different than most all of the other installers. Again, we've never seen it, and we've been around a long time, so we've seen a lot of installations, but we're not seeing the things that really make a difference in the long run. Now, in the short run, some of the ways that people do it, it's gonna be okay. But, we're talking some things that water penetration and so forth that can happen so small, so gradual, that you may never notice it unless you get a storm that lasts for many days. Or it may take 10 years for you to see that it's actually started deteriorating things in your home, because water is not our friend when it comes to living living in a home. We do not want even gradual penetration of waters. Now, why wouldn't you notice it sooner? Well, a lot of things in your home are absorbent. Just like when we talk about roofing, roofs can go on for years and years leaking, and people don't know it until that really big storm, or it's just gotten to the point where it's messed something up, and now you start to see the results of it. But it is not something to be taken lightly.
And you know, one of the questions that I ask homeowners when I'm visiting with them is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is a warranty to you? And almost 95% are always, oh my gosh, that's a 10, that's super important. And what a lot of homeowners don't realize, and I'm glad that we have a lot of listeners right now, is when you read the Hardy Plank guarantee and the warranty, it reads like a lot of warranties. It literally comes out and says if this product is not installed according to manufacturing specifications, then your warranty is null and void. Right here, I mean, what is not covered?
Yeah, you pulled it up right there.
Yeah, the improper storage, the shipping, handling of the installation of the product, including without limitations to failure of the product to be installed, to strict, doesn't just say to okay, to strict compliance with the conditions of the limited warranty. So it is so important when you're investing whether it's 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, depending on the size of your home and depending on which Hardy Plank option you go with. My goodness, can you imagine getting that too good to be true price? You get it all done. It's still too good to be true price. It's still tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
You have your house all done with Hardy Plank. You're thinking that you have this fantastic warranty, and then to come find out 3-4 years later when you start having issues and problems, you don't have a warranty because Hardy Plank's like, no, this was not installed according to specifications. So something to think about.
Exactly. Well, thank you for bringing that out, and we can go into a lot of detail about the installation process, but suffice it to say that when you meet us, when we get a chance to talk to you, we're going to show you some things that no one else is going to show you about installation that's very important and that is required by the manufacturer. And again, we're saying others aren't doing it. That's pretty important because it affects your warranty and the overall performance of this product. So we are experts, we are very specific, we are a very detailed company, we are full-fledged design build, architectural design build company. That's why we're going to do it the right way. We go by the specifications, we have the training, we have 40 employees. But, you know, this is not gonna cost you more than what others are charging either. We're gonna be right up in there in the same price range. But we're gonna have to talk about a little bit more about it in our next break, after this break. And we're going to talk about something that you've heard of, Color Plus, when we get back. But we want to talk about our sponsor, Truly Nolan Pest Control. Great at that. And if need siding real bad, you might have pests in your attic. Get it fixed before we get over there. Get that fixed, and then we'll close it all up for you. But look them up at trulynolan.com. We'll be right back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show.
Direct. We can't make a frisbee trick shot or pull off an NFL.
Because there's some good drinks there. Okay. Well, we might as well. I mean, they need to know that they have options. And they consider Hardy Plank.
Then we need to talk about why they call us.
Why they call us?
Yeah.
I think that's a great answer, a great question for Keith to answer.
I gotta know. It's just exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
And talking the truth about Color Plus is one of the reasons people should call us.
Yeah.
We're not like this with Hardy.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, you
We're
don't
like,
Coke.
we're at a safe
You want some of
distance.
Dad's tea?
That's right.
Sip or two.
Without having conflict of interest, we can actually just tell you
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth, tell what common sense is. Third party, what other people are saying on customeraffairs.com.
People like to hear that on the show.
Like to hear what?
That.
Yeah, third party information.
Yeah, and that we're not biased. We like this, but we don't like this.
Right.
We believe in this, but we don't believe in this. And here's why.
Well, our customer we had 2 days ago said the same thing. Remember we sent it to him, she goes, you know, this is so refreshing, I appreciate it. I can tell you're being honest with me. And you're telling me, hey, you're gonna tell me the pros and cons of this. And that's what we did. We told her the pros, we told her the cons, and we'll sit back and let her make the decision when she thinks it's best. Galinda was her name, remember? Sabrina Galinda.
Right.
Yep. I go back and I see her on Wednesday. Her and her neighbor.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's 2:30.
We're only gonna have about 5 minutes.
Okay,
Five.
perfect. Perfect. We talk really fast. No.
So you'll play the music about a minute, right at 1 minute before, real lightly, and then build up. Thank you.
We'll just watch him for the cues on when to stop.
Well, whenever you hear the music, you'll know that we got 1 minute left. And then I watch it immediately at that point. I look at here and I see it, and then I keep
We
talking.
can jump right into the pros and cons. Put another two different, if you want, however you want to do it.
Yep.
Two different types,
Yep.
tell you the pros and cons.
Exactly what I
Let
wanna
you
do.
decide. And there's no attachment, we have no.
Did you have a Whataburger?
Yep. Junior.
Was it good?
Mm-hmm.
My kids don't want it.
I love Whataburger. I don't eat it very often, but I love it.
They'll text me if you want me to bring Waterbury on the way home. They're watching right now.
I think you heard it. Dad's offered to buy Whataburger.
I was looking at their text and they said, you gotta quit looking at your phone, Dad.
And they're texting you. How are you gonna see
They said,
their
"Quit looking at
text?
your phone, so I'm like, y'all want Waterbury on the way?
Let me text Dad to tell him to quit looking at his phone. That's
Yeah.
funny. How ironic. Welcome back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. I'm in the studio with Morgan and Scott Frazier. He's our siding and window specialist. I want to talk about two things though before we get off the show. And one is Color Plus, which is Hardy, and then just talk about our Milgard relationship. So I'll let you hammer the Color Plus segment and I'll do the rest.
So it's important to know that when we talk about hardy plank, there's two different types. There's a pre-primed hardy plank.
Which is what we use.
Yes. We're able to put a lifetime coating, which we can tint to any color. There's benefits to that. And then of course there's Color Plus product. Because we're limited on time, we can't get too deep into it, but we can tell you there's a few things about Color Plus that a lot of folks don't like.
And just to explain for the homeowner, Color Plus is pre-painted.
That is correct. It's pre-done at the factory, has a great sales pitch to it. But the reality of it is when you're installing it, and you're pulling it off the skids and putting it on the wall, there's little tiny scratches and nicks that you get on it. And
Can't
then you
avoid
get this- No, you can't. And they give you this little bottle to do little touch-ups here and there. And we actually show all of our customers the pros and cons of that, how that kind of shows up. You can actually see the little touch-ups that you have here and there. There is a website, third-party website called consumersaffair.com. And just to kind of give you a little bit of a rundown without getting into too much detail since we're limited on time, but had Color Plus installed to avoid the painting. The color started fading in patches after 1 year and continued to spread. Made claim with Hardy, but they only warranted the chipping and the cracking and the scaling. Another review here, I purchased Color Plus because it was touted as a superior product. I should have brought my readers. And Hardy claims the paint will last longer than a typical paint job. What a lie. My product was professionally installed according to Hardy Plank specifications 5 years ago. Now there is water staining at every joint in the siding. Hardy says the product is not defective and is not covered by the warranty. And I'll stop there, it goes on and on. And I have pages and pages of all these 1 stars. Look at all these 1 stars. We could go on and on and on. But what we do when we come out, we'll explain to you the pros and cons of each, and we'll let you decide what you believe is best for you and your home.
Well, we did one project with Color Plus, and that was the last one we did because we can't honestly recommend it anymore. And I think that's one of the things that you really want from a remodeler. You want someone who's going to tell you the truth. We're raving about Hardy Plank. We do it all the time, and we give tremendous warranties. We get tremendous ratings off of the results of it. And we're going to give you something that will last. But we're not raving about Color Plus, so we're going to tell you the truth about these things, and that's what you're always going to get from us, a straightforward answer. And the same is true on windows. Some companies only sell one type of window. We can buy literally any window that fits your need. But we are dealers for window companies too, and there's not very many that can say that are remodelers that are dealers for a window company. We are dealers with Milgard, and Milgard is not just any window company. They have won the Best of House Design 4 years in a row. They are the highest online rated window and patio door brand, and so this is who we're dealers for. And we are gonna show you that opportunity, which is a buying opportunity for a quality product, not for some cheapo window company that people can recommend, anybody can buy them. But this is for quality windows. And of course, there's other good quality windows too, if you want wood or you want aluminum, you know, which we can get. But if you want vinyl, we've got the best product for the price in Milgard, and we are a local dealer for that. So anything you want to talk about or look at, we're going to give you the truth in the matter. Scott specializes, and he'll be glad to help you with your hardy plank or your windows. And so please don't hesitate to give us a call and get a real, true story. Tell the truth. We'll show you what you're going to reasonably pay for this, and you will see how competitive we can be with your next project. Remember that you're going to have a completely different look. You probably need to do maintenance anyway, so why not think about doing it the right way, where you get a really good return on your investment. Look us up at kmbuilders.com or give us a call at 680-5626. We'd love to talk to you about your next project, whether it be windows, doors, whether it be siding, whether it be a bathroom or kitchen remodel, or maybe you want a room addition. This is what we do. We do all of those things regularly, so we are experts at each of them. Please give us a call at 680-5626 or look us up at kmbuilders.com. And remember, you could have someone else remodel your home, but then you'd have to live in it.